as adopted, Representative.
Great, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee members. I'd actually like to call up our grassroots president, Mark Meckler, at this time. If you could just introduce yourself by name, please.
Mr. Chairman, esteemed members of the committee.
Mic in front of you. And if you would just identify yourself, who you represent.
Mr. Chairman, esteemed members of the committee, my name is Mark Meckler, M-E-C-K-L-E-R, and I'm the president of Convention of States Action, the organization moving Article 5 all across the country.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. Representative McCollum, you're recognized.
Thanks again. Well, we are very fortunate members today, very fortunate that we have opportunity to vote for a bill that I would say can provide a solution as large as the actual problem that we have. A few numbers, for those of you that are not aware, we have a national debt issue, $22 trillion, and last time, I guess Representative, now Senator Bob Ballinger talked about this, was at $18.5 trillion. Additionally, there's $120 trillion in unfunded liabilities, and I know after talking to a few of you, there might even be a conversation whether or not the issuance of debt is an issue or not. And I would just say, yeah, you know, somewhat it's an accepted policy and public policy as long as those proceeds from the debt are used to stimulate the economy in a manner that will lead to the country's long-term prosperity. You know, in that way, the current and the future generations will be able to reap the rewards. Unfortunately, when the debt is raised to simply fund current public consumption, such as proceeds programs that you guys know about, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the debt just goes to fuel that consumption, and it only presents advantages to the current generation. And that's where I take it personally. As your youngest colleague who has seen the can kicked down the road for far too long, I'm excited that although we're in a tough spot, we can do something about it. I'm here to say today that not only is there something we can do about it, but I'm convicted that this is the exact remedy that our founding fathers envisioned for a time like this. So it's not just the federal debt that's the issue, as you know. It's the general overreach of the federal government in our everyday lives. We have a regulatory crisis, congressional attacks on our state sovereignty. I feel like we are essentially treated as not state legislatures, but regional agencies of Congress. You know, since I even started talking today, federal debt's probably gone up $2 more million. So you guys get the picture, and most of you I know agree that there is an issue. Most of the conversation is on, is this the best remedy? And I can tell you, just after studying this, and someone who's started as a skeptic 2 years ago on this, but after a lot of research, talking to people that I respect, reading a lot, just listening, frankly, logic, I've come to a few of the following conclusions. Article 5 procedure, the application of Convention of States, is the exact remedy that we need at this time. Founding Fathers set up this mechanism that the state legislature could respond. We the people could come up with the process that was given to us to speak against the federal government's abusive and dysfunctional behavior. These are the tools that we can use. Another point, historically amendments have proven to be very powerful reform tools. One of the stinkiest arguments I've heard against this process is that, well, they're not following the rest of the Constitution, so why would they follow the amendments? The answer is history. Bill of Rights comes to mind. Most have survived 200 years after being adopted. Women voting, 19th Amendment, which we passed. I could go on and on. Finally, and I don't want to take too much of y'all's time. I see a lot of folks here sign up to speak today. But the biggest thing I want you guys to think about is that this is a constitutional right. Much like the right to vote, it's our right. And I think we should take full advantage of that right. Members, that's all I have to say for now. I want to open up for any comments, Mr. Meckler, if you wanted to add anything today.
I would, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.